If you give me 6 minutes, I'll make your stride more explosive. Based on the last 3 years of client data, my average client sees on-ice results within 29.6 days. So in this video, I'm going to break down 7 science-backed principles behind building real on-ice explosiveness, so you can feel faster by your next skate. Which brings us into point 1. Build the brakes before the burst. Most players train their gas pedal or their power, but not their brakes. See, you can't be explosive if you can't control it first. I remember focusing all my energy on how high I could jump or how fast I could sprint, when in reality, I was slow when I was changing direction on the ice. Building the brakes was the missing link for me to improve this area. And here's how you can start too. Starting with eccentric work, which is intentionally slowing down the lowering portion of a lift. This would be 3-second lowers on exercises like trap bar deadlifts, front squats, or split squats. I like to think of this as building a slingshot. You have to go backwards before you can go forwards. Once you can decelerate fast, acceleration gets easy. Inside our program, we put eccentric control in the very first phase of training, which is why my guys can stop faster, stay pain-free, and explode harder by week 4. But here's the thing, even if you can control force, it doesn't mean you can release it fast. And that's where most players get stuck. Point 2, train the springs, not just the muscles. If your tendons are soft, your stride will always feel slow, and you'll lose that pop to get around defenders. You see, you have muscles and you have tendons. Tendons connect your muscle to bone and allow you to transfer power within each and every stride. Most players train muscles, but completely neglect tendons. When your tendons are strong and stiff, they act as a spring. The second your blade hits the ice, you can rebound instantly. To train this, start with this 3-step plyometric progression. Starting off with pogo hops to train the lower leg and ankle, then slowly progressing to bounds to incorporate the entire lower body, then finally using depth jumps for better reactivity. This way you can change direction with ease. This progression slowly increases the amount of force that goes through your joints so that you can be more powerful on the ice and not have as many injuries. Make sure with the hops that we're focusing on snapping off the ground and minimal ground contact time. That's how you can build a quicker stride. But even if you have strong tendons, it won't mean much if you don't have the raw horsepower behind it. Number 3. The strength behind speed. You can't produce power if you're weak. Every stride starts with one thing: force production, which is how hard you can push into the ice with each and every stride. Within your training, after you do power exercises, pick one main lift to focus on, whether this be trap bar deadlifts, split squats, or heavy hip thrusts. Stick to 3 to 5 sets of 3 to 5 reps with long rest periods between each and every set. What this stronger base does is allow you to push harder into the ice and have more power within your stride. Every client in my system has a dedicated max strength phase, so they have a higher peak of their power and speed. But being strong isn't enough. See, the best players aren't just strong, they're able to use that strength in a split second. Point 4, from strong to fast. Rate of force development. Strength doesn't mean much if you can't use it fast on the ice. Because in hockey, you have a split second to apply force into the ice to get around defenders. I've had several clients who could deadlift well over 400 pounds, but struggled to use that strength on the ice. What I incorporate with all of them is speed strength work, which is essentially using moderate loads and trying to move it as fast as possible under control. You can use exercises like loaded jumps, fast squats, and kettlebell swings. This bridges the gap between your strength and your on-ice speed. I typically program this in for my clients around month 3 so that it directly transfers into your first 3 strides. And if you're getting value from this video so far and want a custom program to get faster, check the link below. But here's the thing, all the power in the world means nothing if you're leaking energy in each and every stride. Number 5, fixing your power leaks. You can't be explosive if you're losing energy through your ankles, knees, and hips every single shift. You see, within your body, there's certain joints that require stability and mobility, and it alternates going up the chain starting from your feet. If you want to waste less power, I'd focus on the stability joints. So this would be your feet, knees, lower back, and shoulder blades. For the feet, I like using zigzag cones, focusing on landing within each rep so you can stop faster on the ice. For your knees, I like using single leg Romanian deadlifts. I would start off by using assistance with the rack, then slowly progressing to fully standing. Now for the lower back, I would use dead bugs, starting off unloaded, then slowly progressing to resisted movement. And finally with the shoulder blades, I like using scap push-ups. What this does is get your shoulder blades gliding efficiently so you can move with ease. As you can see, the goal isn't just more power, it's being able to effectively transfer that power within each stride, which is why with each client that comes in, we do a movement screening. We find that most players have stability problems holding back their stride power, which we fix those first. Moving on. Now that you can transfer power, we need to teach your nervous system to fire faster. If you're always getting burned in races to the puck, training your muscles isn't enough. You need to train your brain to fire faster. See, your nervous system controls how much power you can access. And my favorite way to improve this is using post-activation potentiation. What this means is you're pairing a heavy lift with a fast movement of the same movement pattern. This could look like squats with squat jumps. What this essentially does is the heavy movement primes your body to jump higher within the second exercise. This way you can fire at full capacity. But even with perfect power output, if you can't repeat it every single shift, it's useless. Point 7. Stay explosive every single shift. You see, being explosive means nothing if you gas out. To sustain power all game long, you need to train repeat sprint ability, which starts off by building alactic power, which is doing short, max effort bursts anywhere between 5 to 10 seconds with 60 to 90 seconds of rest, repeated for 10 to 12 rounds. You can do this on an air bike, sprinting, or with squat jumps. By building this component first, you're able to have higher power output, but then be able to repeat that with capacity intervals, which looks like this. 10 seconds on with 30 seconds off of incomplete rest, repeated for 8 to 10 rounds. This allows you to repeat power all game long and be fast with every single shift. By building each of these, you can have a stride that gets around defenders each and every game. And if you're wanting a custom program to get faster this season, check our link below to apply for our program.